usual, I want to tell thank you to our partner them. We make sure say we dey bring candy special edition too. And today I want to tell plenty thank you to UNDP and UNESCO and UNFPA. When a special partner they will ensure say I believe say at the end of this we get refreshments. I want the panelists they know say normally we not can get refreshments for weekly press conference. Also, we don't mobilize more. So we'll get plenty people in at the hall for make this conversation go before. I also want to tell thank you to we media partners here across the country. This program, not so just for una within this hall. We get people who they follow in every major television, radio, and online platform na salon. They all they carry we live right now. I want to tell thank you to all the one in the media platform, and I for welcome the online and radio land and television land viewers and listeners across Salon. We try for keep this conversation about 2.5 hours. I know say the issue that we will get for covered is so plenty, we will struggle small. But I want to explain the structure of the conversation. This now, I want to talk. Education, it affects everybody in the country. We get 3 Master Sabi experts in here. My colleague, the Minister for Technical and Higher Education, Dr. Hajar Ramatulaiwi, on a clap for him. My colleague, the Minister for Basic and Senior Secondary Education, Honorable Conrad Saki of the Great Albert Academy, on a clap for him. If you know go Albert Academy, left by you. And then my brother, the People's Commissioner, the Anti-Corruption Commissioner for Salon, Francis Ben Kaifala, on a clap for him. Then 3, na the keynote speaker. Now they will give some tell for them to give some of the big idea them on how we will address the threats. We all online social media when we talk about education problem here, threats there, challenges in here. And then we look at as the key resource people. And then we get the people that we are discussing and expert in the new sector, particularly. I want for welcome Professor Andrew Bayo, we are the Deputy Vice Chancellor for Abbey College, University of Salon. Hello, clap for him. He did with me on that side. And then the chairman, the Conference of Principals of Secondary School, Western Region, and then the Vice President for the National Conference of Principals of Secondary School, Mr. Abdul Razak. Hello, clap for him. He's day with me. You know, we'll talk about education as alone. You know, talk to this young man with you on my left, Mr. Alfonso Manley, National Coordinator, Civil Rights Coalition, Civil Society, a lot clap for himself. And then finally, we hear from the Peking representative, the Deputy Public Relations Officer for Children's Forum, Mary Julius, a lot clap for himself as well. What would they do? Would they turn to the keynotes? We'll give them some time, then talk small. Then we come to honor the audience. We want to ask some questions. Then we bring the experts them inside the conversation. I want to work with me. Let move the conversation go before. Let we talk. We propose solution. Before I can to the experts them, I want to do something we will not plan to save. I want to start by giving the microphone to Una and the audience. The first question I will ask, when you see this flyer, you see this town hall, what you think about education and salon? Whose issue they where you want to cover today? What you go want to address? What you want to talk about? Within your mind. I want to take 2-3 people and let them just give me 20 seconds. Whose area they within your mind where you say, I want to talk about this right now. Yes, that man they hand on go behind a lot again quick. Just quick one.
Me your name na Abdul Kedi Swari, the acting chairman for Coalition for Accessible and Education, CSO. So me own quick one we will talk about based on the criminal research we don't do. Let we talk about examination malpractice.
Good. Exam malpractice. So you want to talk about exam malpractice?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Now listen to somebody else. Who that there with the mic? Now come on this side. I want to hear you from woman. Yes, the sister with the glasses on the right here.
Good afternoon, everybody. Me and Fudia Kamara represent Patriotic Advocacy Network. Of course, the main issue here today gets to do with examination malpractice and how the ministries and other external body will come together and see how best we get a structured system where we push the free quality education where the presidents they preach about.
Structured system with exam malpractice. We don't get into big issue in the now come middle here. This gentleman with the team up so with the jackets. Tell me what you want. Follow talk what.
And I will first of all recommend the
What's your name, sir?
Samson Mwewa,
Yes,
CEO of
Mr.
Salo Network.
Okay.
I will first of all recommend the infrastructure, both technical and physical infrastructures. If you look at Sierra Leone, we infrastructure is.
And I will explain no more now. I will just tell me say infrastructure.
We
come to explanation later. Thank you, my brother. Let's take one more. This time, woman. And I don't say me a feminist. We'll take one mouth or take one woman. This lady day before ya. Yes.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
go ahead.
Your name na Admire Toure. So what I go want for know about what I go make the address now how they go able for make equal quality education then also in a salon.
Okay. Inclusive education. Equal access to education all over the country. When I put my hand on first, now listen to the panel. I be just want gauge the mood in the room. What's in there people in mind? Which one I want follow talk about? By the way, I hear you talk about teacher lateness. Thank you. Okay. So now I want to start with higher education because I will start up yonder. They will come Ukandom. I want now so they go on all three. After you, basic, then we deliberately bring the People's Commissioner here because exam malpractice don't tie to corruption, don't tie to the reform they want to see. All three of them were done they discuss over this period. So, Madam Minister, I want to let you open the conversation for we on how you they address the threats to quality education at the higher education sector. What's you to do now? Reform them, big things away, just 1 4 points. I'll give you maybe 5 minutes. Go.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Always a pleasure for participating in a platform where are they able to connect directly with the people them way President Bio appoint me for serve. This is not a very critical topic. I can always say as a government we value education, but we value even more na quality education. So I'm glad you all get this gathering for get frank conversation about them. Within the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, we oversight role, we supervisory role, but we get we institutions them. Because malpractice, you get layers them. At institutional level, the universities them, the other higher education institutions, and then get their own policy them, where they don't develop, where then they implement, when they investigate cases of malpractice, and then get the punitive measures then for those found wanting. When I've been active within the teaching space, I served as the Dean of the Faculty of Nursing until I resigned. I know waiting at the first hand some of the challenges that we will face when it comes to examination malpractice. And with that being said, from the ministry's perspective, not a tool for looking isolation, But for try for look through a system strengthening approach. How we go strengthen the system, we go make sure say, if person one commits malpractice, if examination malpractice, be you student or lecturer, it will be very difficult. We will also develop a system where we go make easy for detect. So quickly we go pick up, say this something don't happen. And then also, if I be safe for report, you go get conversation with students and we aware of what thing they happen, where the administration may not necessarily be aware of, but they will say, me, I know they talk. Because if I talk, now me then they say don't go Congo, sir. And I want to graduate, I get for work with some people as soon as the professional setting. So therefore make a system where safe for report. And then obviously there has to be consequent system. Me, I believe in naming and shaming. Recently, we hear what happened within one of we higher education institutions, and I commend the institution for the approach where they take for address that they once and for all. We not sweep them under the carpet. They're not sweep them under the carpet. They address them to the public because this is a conversation for they get openly. So at a ministry perspective, we will therefore take into account all of what they happen at institutional level and then work with the regulatory agency. They will get NCTVE for TVET, we get TC for higher education, and their mandates now for ensure say quality they within the higher education space and develop a framework where go support the system, but based on the experiences they already get. But like I say, there are different levels to malpractice. From me own perspective, you dey get institution them back, we go just grab today without going through accreditation process, not accredited amount program, they begin take students and then they compromise quality. Because we put the structure in place for where you want set up you learning institution, you go to the relevant authority, get the accreditation for the institution, then they look into the environment, society, they train the students, and they look into the capacity of the trainers. And we put that in place for a reason, for will not compromise on quality. But we get some institutions the way they do that, they unfortunately. So are they talking now openly? Are they expect me two regulatory agencies and for give me a list of all the accredited higher education institutions they will get in Sierra Leone and all the accredited programs they will get. I know they keep on to myself now the ministry and they make them public. So now where the academic year they start, I want the general public know say before you put your picking in any enroll them in any institution, check say accredited. Because if you're not accredited, we not get no way for check which kind quality which kind education that they give within the institution and so that in itself they compromise on quality. So I go stop here for now and then as the conversation then they go on, I will add more. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Madam Minister. And I appreciate where you particularly concise and set the scene for we. Minister Saki, President Bill tell we na McKinney say government don't spend close to 2 billion since he can power on education. Would they feed about 1 million picking them? Would all recruit over 10,000 teachers? Would all add about 2 million learners? And yet the conversation, even we just open up, still focus on the challenges and the threats. Paint a picture for we of the threats there as you see them and give we an indication of top line how you see we ability and the steps they would take for address the step then threats then this are.
Well, I want to tell everybody I do. I'm glad for they are today. But let me first of all start off by setting a context. The reason we make World Day today now because in the last week or so, I read the announced the results of NPSC. And as a result of that, I mentioned that we set aside 1,927 results, and that creates a big conversation. But so it's important that I set a context. You know, if we take the results we read, you get over 160,161 candidates. Then we take that exam day. The pass rate for that exam day now 78.2%. Anybody in this room, we don't go university, we doing exam na university, it gets 78.2%. The class of degree where you go get now first class. Lisa? Yes. So 78.2% now first class you go get. So first of all, I want to take the opportunity for congratulate all them picking. We work very hard for make them the inside that 78.2%. I know say it not be easy, but they overcome all the odds for make them get to that 78.2%. I also want to take the opportunity for also thank all them teachers there which support them picking and they for getting results and they. So this is why I set the context, because whilst we get some challenges in the system also they do very well. So all the thing and where the president talk about in terms of the resources where the government do put into the sector, it pay dividend. So now I go to the real exam malpractice. So out of the 1,927, about 1,640 will constitute 1%, 1% of the picking away take the exam. Not to say then go spiral or then do anything wrong. It's just that then school them, no submit then cast. Taking into consideration the data we may get, the result this year was very good. You get over 5,123 bikini we perform to 300 and above. So for me, if any of them pick here within that 1,600 day, they apply to grade 8 school. The competition for getting to that grade 8 school is not easy. But the powers I get under the Education Act also give me the opportunity for actually disregard the continuous assessment, and I can release the result using the exam number. But as an educationist, I know say not to all man they perform well in exams. So the decision I make for withholding results now for the benefit of them picking and they. Because if now me on picking, I want them for get to grade A school. And so if you get somebody who get a T-score of 298, you want to go the commissioner in school, Sierra Leone Grammar School, then the cutoff mark for that Sierra Leone Grammar School now 300 and now does say 303. That 10% we get by continuous assessment might move on from 298 to that 303. So that's why I hold that result. As I talk so right now, all the schools then within that category they all go pay in a WAEC because and I might not know this. A significant amount of the school then within that they are private schools, private community schools. So this is not school where they pay fees. So this is another reason why I take the stand where I take, because if people end up paying fees, they need to get the best results. So that's why I hold NCND. But in terms of examination malpractice of itself, the one the way they allege, say they get problem with examination malpractice, it constitutes something like 326, when 0.2%. So I really want Bola to just understand this context, because for the last couple of days, we don't spend time to talk about all of these things. When you look at really, not a huge problem that we get right now for NPSC. But sometimes because people don't understand and think say that 1,900, all them became those spike. That's not true. Now only 0.2%, when at 326, now the one in the account for the alleged.
Minister, you 5 minutes on done, but the 2 minutes we minister been left at the give you. So you can use that.
So I think in terms of waiting at the measure that we will take now the ministry, I just want to itemize a couple of things that really come on board very quickly. First of all, we get a WAEC bill. The last WAEC bill will be getting will be 1984. So we get a new WAEC bill now. We go criminalize some of the things that really happen now with system. The second thing also we want to do, we want to also get a civic education and campaign. that is taken into consideration that this examination malpractice, not one person, there is a demand, there is a supply. Somebody willing to pay for make somebody commit malpractice. For some of them, PKR will get some of them primary school, some of them are then teacher themselves. Now then they help them. So not to the beginning just get the agency for go see and spy. The third thing is I really want to make sure say this now a whole country approach. So we will really need for sign and communicate with all the relevant partners. So we all agree, say, we will put an end to this. The other thing is that they use quite a lot of digital technology. So when I tell you, say, for example, we get duplicates in the system, we can go over 300,000 data, and we can tell you almost duplicates and this. So we introduce digital platforms, and one way a new one where they come on board this year, because every year we improve. And then the other thing we want to say is that for all the school where we know say they'll be involved in examination malpractice, we go take punitive sanctions where we get the evidence say waiting and do wrong. So last year we suspend 58 principals for 1 year without pay, and that one and they continue to go through the system right now. I also, as you may know, that for Becker we even introduced the military for us make sure say we protect the materials that we'll get, and I will explain later why I do that and how we do it for make sure say them picking and not be intimidated. The last but by no means the least, every senior management team will get now will go through with all free line for look at all the feedback we'll get from the public and take decisive action based on the feedback that we end up provide with. So let's stop there at this point.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. Mr. Minister, so just to be clear, the 1,000 number, 1,640 results will WAEC, because the public reports now that the results are withheld. But you just say now the result, and now you the minister, now you say maybe the result they don't go out because they not satisfy the condition for make sure say they release then continuous assessment score and get them, because the school they not submit and I make you withhold the results then.
Yes.
So as if we don't just be joined here by WAEC and SLTU and they come and I will introduce you properly later. But I just want to get that part clear. And then only about 300 we related to malpractice when it comes to MPSC.
That's correct. And I want to make a distinction. In education, there is a difference between withholding and setting aside. When you withhold something in any result, now where the process don't come to the end, but there is some suspicion, say some malpractice don't take place, now you they withhold them. When you say you set aside, it means to say the process not complete. And if now the exam results no more will get, it's not complete. That's why I set it aside.
All right, so then picking in the would they expect say when in school they don't satisfy these continuous assessment scores, you go eventually release the results.
So the results end up being released now.
And it will be done in time for the school year.
Yeah, well, I just want to just make this the other distinction. So we don't release about 1,100 to 200, I think.
Of the 1,600.
Of the 1,600. There were about 5 schools that will be left. Out of that 61 day, there were 4 schools we get duplicate code. So the results they already don't receive the results. So sometimes when you see absences, then they wanted to go still constitute absent because then they back now another code.
Oh, yeah? Thank you, sir. I'm glad the way you close out, because I want to bring the People's Commissioner into the conversation. Whether now 100 but at MPSC, the idea say exam malpractice day at MPSC for the chilling to we all. Recently, you take the extraordinary step for bringing the military for ensure the integrity of Beke exams. Was not to for talk. Every year, plenty reports of widespread malpractice. And we will begin talking now, I said everybody want to talk about exam malpractice. And by the way, when it comes to Professor, Minister of Higher Education there, the universities, malpractice, plenty. And Minister hints just no say, the teacher there, the handing in the the parents there, the handing in the I want to move the conversation to integrity when it comes to public or exams in general within the education system. Commissioner Kaifala, you don't spend a lot of time thinking about this, and you get the distinction for being responsible for encourage you all for live a life of integrity in Sierra Leone. Within your prescription. First, maybe you can give me if I can push you for giving your analysis of within the drive malpractice, and then offer some solutions for it inside 5 minutes. Thank you, sir.
Inside 5 minutes. All right. Of course, examination malpractice. That's something where we all aware.
Please ease the mic up small, sir.
We're all aware. Don't plague the educational sector for a long time. When I say a long time, a really long time. So not to think with that day. And we, the commission, when we become commissioner, like you always say, I don't be ever think say one of the things we are even worry about in terms of integrity, for concern examination malpractice. But then when I get to the commission back in 2018, by 2019, I was genuinely shocked at what I saw. The volume, the intensity, the planning, the coordination, the execution, and the deliberate undermine of the entire educational system, particularly by the very people we supposed to be the guardians of that system. And I make various reports and share this with the government. I remember the first incident was in 2018 where we discover an examination hub in Aberdeen Road where students were taking exams 11 o'clock p.m. at night. And those exam papers were then later put into the examination packages and taken to WAEC from WAEC mark. And we shared those reports. And we saw that this is serious. And then coming down to 2019, where we now all see the more graphical presentation of what thing that happened, where we had to chase people everywhere in the country. Scorpion Squad activities and everything that led around it. We all see them. And then this is clear. There is an attack on the educational system on a massive scale by a coordination between principals, teachers, parents, and pupils, and with some form of assistance of examination administrators, including WAEC. And this comes from a serious desperation in the system because parents have found out that access to privileges, opportunities, success is tied to education. And they want their children to be among. Now, parents also know that many things lead to this success. Some of it includes money, So you have to have a lot of money. You send your children to a good private school, support them whatever way you can, provide lessons for them, and a lot of things. But sometimes also genetics, brain. If your child is inadequate, you can know. If you tell you pikin wey dey class 5, 2 plus 2, it tell you say 16, mama, you say they know say this pikin problem there. But you still want that child to have access to opportunities, to grow up, to be a Chernobyl, to become an Alfonso Manley, to become the two ministers here. And therefore, you are desperate to provide that opportunity. And this don't create a market where, as the Minister of Education himself say, there's a demand and there's a supply. There's a demand from parents to get their children to access opportunities nationally at all costs. And there is a supply organized by teachers, examination malpractice, examination administrators, and other people. Now, the bottom line in this is we are in big trouble as a country. Because where principals and teachers are coordinating these things, the data we have at the ACC is terrible. Just now, when I came here, I just gave the Minister of Education a report from Kenema, where we just did a random sampling in the last WAS exam. That means we don't have resources to go to all schools. So we choose out of, let's say, 300 schools, we say, let's just go to 15. We recovered 107 mobile phones from people taking exams. And almost all the invigilators had mobile phones. And the observation from there was people were writing exam results on blackboards. There was a coordination between the security sector, the teachers manning the exams, and the parents who were outside coordinating with people to make sure that answers get into their children. Now, this is happening on a mass scale. It is pandemic. It's not just limited to Kenema. You come to Freetown, the story is the same. Everywhere you go is the same. Because teachers recognize that they can subsidize whatsoever inadequacy they are getting from the resources. One of the things they say, government know they pay, we fine. And they saw that parents are ready to pay a lot of money for their pupils to get access. So, in conclusion, we have a big problem at hand. Me, not a policy person. I am a law enforcement person. I am not one of those who thinks that we should be negotiating with teachers, with principals on examination malpractice. I believe that certain things are a calling. If you are called to do it, you either do it or you don't. And if you cannot, you leave. But you cannot be responsible for doing that job, and you are substantially responsible for undermining it. And that is what's happening to the examination sector. And I believe we all need to work together on the cross-setting purposes, pool resources together, focus on ensuring that the integrity of exams are maintained and protected at all levels. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the People's Commissioner. The conversation just don't begin for sweet. He say there's a grand conspiracy. I want to introduce two of the panelists that we just joined me. Ibrahim Bankapoma Kagbo, President, Sierra Leone Teachers Union, SLTU. Now let's clap for him. And then the commissioner mentioned the exam bodies. We get Saliu Kamara, who is the public relations officer for West African Examination Council. Why? Can I clap for him? So all man there. What will they do the next to quickly? It only fair. See, when the way they know put and so Leone get at least 2 minutes for respond. And I want for start because I dey take wetin commissioner say. You see, there's a grand conspiracy against education. You say by principals, by teachers, parents, with the candidate, and then civil society will represent parents, and then you say exam bodies. So the teacher they all day on that side. I realize all the teacher they under. So what do they do? Law starts with you in the middle, conference of principals. We'll go to SLTU, they will come to the university, and then we'll come to the wire. We'll go now, let's say 2.5 minutes each. Please give them the microphone on that side here, Mr. Kaifala. Thank you, sir. So, conference of principals. Is it true that the principal they join for puts this conspiracy for attack education na salon? What you go say to that? Waiting at the reason for this rampant malpractice and waiting on your role in that process there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. As we all don't hear how the conversation they go, me we sit down as chairman for conference of principal, and the principal is sitting principal. I not think say any principal in me own life go they in a grand syndicate for it will bring the very integrity where they try for protectors and administrator. I don't think so. Unless otherwise passing the other world.
So what do you think say they drive this conspiracy and this widespread? What's not the driver from your perspective? Sir?
Yes, I am coming. I just want for there we just take the minister set a context issue. A man we very intelligent. Give a context.
Go Albert Academy. That's taken for granted.
That's right. So if we try for look in a real perspective that before this time, where I remember, I think many in this room here, na people then we then sit O levels and not the worst. The examination business here, so where they come, we will be in the good school, way from 5 then they sit. You will see say then they bring the material, we don't understand the material that they bring and come now the box of the school. That show for say the principle na integrity. Because if you not to that, why not go take all the material? He can't give them to the principal. In those days, I'm saying that the principal that they in charge, even when you not reach that stage yet for write the exams. Sometimes now then at school and they put blackboard and write exams in progress, no go area. So that then now we did then or that were forms. If we not the place safe, now then could have no for go the area then they did. It will interest you to note here, Mr. Minister, that me we see so who would the kind of talk the WIAC office will be feeling like a taboo place. That road, that's our would be afraid they say WIAC. One can't would pass round for no go near WIAC no more. Because of the things then what they may tell we. Then they mark the papers, then Ghana, Nigeria, man, then they can mark the paper. Oh, this year, what the question one, they say, oh, Ghana questions, then they don't make sense. Yes, what happened? They see 1984 O levels. This is not a common thing. So you don't get no iota for get away where you go. The pit say you for go find roads for come write exams. I'm sure most of you here that are seated there, you will agree with me. Now coming to now, as I say, first I begin me preface say no reasonable principle. As I sit here, go get a coordination for let it go undermine in your integrity. Because the exams business, now you there on top, you are the head. So if you are going to undermine yourself, tell me. And nothing say, Pastor, tell you don't go the other wall or the other day. But I want to say that the exams integrity is of paramount for the principal, who is an administrator. He wants let the exam go on, unless otherwise some other things. Now with this analysis also, these days we don't see a whole lot of proliferation of principles, new principles. And very well, you will see sometimes somebody come out college, you don't can say I don't can be principal. But in those days, you know, me know, the thing gets a strata. We don't come out college. Why make them say assistant? I'm not saying at the university every day. You are an assistant teacher. We come out first in college. You not to. Then I for tell you say the boss man, the teacher, he is learning you whatever position where they give, now they delegate. After 2-3 years of supervision, we don't see you, that supervision day, then you come out to senior teacher. Then they now get mindful, give you responsibility. Then from senior teacher now you go vice, and all of these teachers are not sitting at the university also. That's what they happen. But now you could just see somebody don't come out college no more. Well, na principal straight away, without going all of those things. And the process where you need to be mentor. Now process where you need for learn and all of these things. Nobody been they wish to get for then each other. Now
You don't pass 3
get
minutes.
bicycle. Now they can't say sorry for me.
No, no.
Because
you see,
they
the
like
only way this conversation get for work, if I say 2.5 minutes, you try for stick to her. Otherwise, una all night able to talk for
all right, thank you very much.
2 hours. Una na teacher there, una na politician there. If I kill una they will talk no more. So
Thank
long
you.
try for
Thank
stick
you.
to the
Thank you.
time. Yeah. So there. Now go to SLTU next. Thank you, sir. I think you don't introduce a very important point where the minister and the 2 ministers then respond to. He said the standard, the process of appointment of school administrators. Now then you just come on pop, you don't become. So we'll address that. It's a very important issue to introduce. SLTU, first of all, I don't like the fact say you late for this meeting. I mean, we're not like late. So I've been saying they call you out publicly and they were like, man, but you're there now, so we'll take you. Second, you don't hear all this talk. Una now they talk for teacher them, but then say teacher them. Now then they part of this grand conspiracy. What do you say?
Well, thank you very much. First of all, I'm sorry for coming late. I don't left from 1 o'clock, 1 hour. But circumstance make I reach here this time. So bear with me. Myself now one post you are not like for late. Minister Sabi Dande. We don't start program Vienna. We supposed to come on time in between the school.
He sent the fragments to the minister. Me fire and I throw and throw cancel the minister. You know that. Go ahead.
Now me witness. Not a fragment, not just witness. First of all, for start with Dande, quickly I go on for spend 30 seconds for say. In my opinion, the drivers of corruption are that one. Salon, we don't seem for lost integrity. That's now one. Second one, the misuse of technology is another driver. The third one, the conditions of service of people where they handle picking them examinations. Now another one. The third one, poverty gets a nexus to corruption. The other one, favoritism in employment, to an extent that all they want for seeing a paper, they don't want to know whether you get the skills or you get the capacity for perform now you role the paper no more. So all man just want paper. You know they study. So this for me now the drivers. If you all like explain, you give me time to explain.
We don't receive the drivers.
The other one,
no go now to.
Yes, sir. So I believe say yes, examination malpractice now a grand conspiracy. Everybody they play a role. And they start with government. Which now government in role? Government in role now that one, in order they give the correct conditions, we go make the teachers them feel encouraged not for attempt or even do corruption. I know they condone corruption. The one them we don't deal with me, they no say I know they entertain than they, but the facts now they talk salon. If you not talk true, no more na lie you go talk. The anti-corruption commissioner, believe me, not go perform this kind of performance if na me salary they receive. I bet you. So that's the role of government. The role of public institutions.
Una know why make that clap this so it's sad. Una all na the agree say if somebody they be paid less, it okay for let's see. That be now una they upload so.
You know, okay, but
now una upload so.
recipe.
So what una do, una go back online, una complain, say, oh, where they call. Now the corruption all the talk about, so now they upload so.
No, Mr. Minister, now
Yes.
the facts then they upload.
Okay.
It's the fact. Because to be honest with you, right? Where you pay somebody well, is satisfied with in conditions of service.
But I not think anyway. I will let you finish.
Yes, sir. That temptation for let it do otherwise go reduce. But I always one time I tell the commissioner when we meet Abinchumani say the salaries now like unleashing the jungle justice in the society. Because me we sit on here, I always say talking with all due respect to everybody, and I say I'm with humility, not to anything, with higher teacher certificates, with a bachelor's and a master's, and a head of school for over 20 years. My salary na 2,500, Mr. Minister. I pay 60,000 every day, and they call the old money because now we understand fine. 2,500, 2,500,000, and they pay 60,000 every day for go work for 24 days of the week of the month. Multiply 60 by 24, almost go left by my salary.
Mr. Kago.
Please let me finish, Mr.
I will. I'll give you another 2 minutes. I want to make a point where the commissioner we don't make just now.
Yes, sir.
And I want to ask you for response to that point today, so that we'll get balance in the conversation.
Yes, sir.
My mama and my papa didn't teach for a total of over 50 years. My mama na be head teacher. He teach for 39 years. He don't retire. My papa teach for about 20 something years before he left the profession. When they pay them in the 80s, the money not been they do for buy one bag dress. My mama been they go 6 months and not pay them under APC team. That's true. Anybody there way been they you know that. Then they go 1 year sometime. They not pay the 1 month. But my mama go say before he cheats, make he die. He go sell all kinds of things. That's why he raised me. You now you start by laying the premise. You say, or the conference of principal boss. You say in the 80s, principal was equal to integrity. How do you square that circle there now? In the 80s, when they pay them less, we all can agree now, say the rampant nature of corruption not been there. So how are you making a public case that corruption is tied directly? And by the way, the evidence on that is not straightforward. The commissioner denier. We get plenty societies where they pay a lot of money, people they can still be corrupt. But people and they work now, but offices where they pay them millions and they still thief. So corruption and integrity issue. So I've been want to give that different perspective that I ask for. How would you respond to the question of, like the ACC commissioner say, teaching is a calling. My mama and my papa for them. My mama na they are learn not for be late for. On my way, then I always have been my way go school for how many years? You know when they take leave, you know when they late for go work. My papa na be the same thing. Now I make my staff know if you late 1 minute at the text, my skin they grab. Because I learned those things from my parents, both of whom are teachers. So for let you chair, president of SLTU, for Canada's public forum, and make a case that somehow it is okay for corruption because of condition of service, where by the way, the evidence suggests they don't go up, not down, since at least 2018. How do you square that circle?
Mr. Minister, I give 5 drivers of waiting they make examination malpractice they thrive. I give 5. Then they can't give the role of every institution. I'm sorry because you are representing government. You don't go on to accept the fact.
No. I'm willing to accept the facts. I want to get a debate.
I know they wallahi, God know me not they condone corruption. That is why every action where government don't take against any corrupt practice in the education sector, with a sit na the disciplinary committee, we always they support the actions then they. All right? But again, for be fair, for tell you, waiting now one of the problem where government for handle. Right? The second one, account to the parents. Parents them, because of the society how it is now, I don't really know why, But then self they play a role because one, they know they press them, picking them for study, for work hard in a school, but they want let them picking them pass. Now then they encourage the teachers, then come, they say, look, something, do you have me picking? Right from primary, then they go see the class teachers them, let me pick him pass, let me this, and they encourage the teachers them, and the teachers them way not get integrity. I mean, then they take debate. So now the role down the way comrade themselves they play. The picking themselves, picking they no one work hard, they no one study, and if they get an opportunity for let them say they give them free mark, then they take that role day. So themselves they play that role day. The institutions, colleges and universities, now they the issue of where you they submit assignments. If you submit out money, where they submit on paper, if you submit out money, you don't understand? Some students them no they even attend classes. Once you don't make package for the lecturer, you don't get so themselves and get the role for play. You also get the public institutions. Plenty public institutions that they succumb to political pressure. Now they sit down. And they tell you this because me, I don't serve na several boards. Well, now they do appointments until later list like no more. This list from so place now take them people here. They don't want to know whether they qualify or they not qualify. So person go just go get paper. You know they study hard, you know they get the skills. So all man, that conspiracy where the party talk, now they agree and now they analyze for you.
All right, thank you very much. Now, Council, the Furabe College Vice Chancellor for Furabe College, University of Sierra Leone. The SLTU presidents don't add the university. They say the culture of corruption submits with money, assignments, money, pamphlet culture. In fact, there's also the sexual elements, particularly for female students too, when are part of the corruption at the university. What thing will be your own contribution to this debate on how we address these specific threats to education at the country? Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Minister. My family, good evening. Me see corruption on other practices there. We not correct as a cost-benefit issue. They get cost, they get benefit. And we Montaman, we God make they call we rational beings. If at all at the benefit pass something, you know, and the benefit pass the cost, I get for go do that thing. The benefit, for example, if at all I not say if I get for do something, they're not gonna catch me. For me, they catch me, it hard. The tendency go there for say I go do am. Or if they catch me, they don't do me nothing, or they don't do me better thing. I will continue for do am. The cost will be if at all, if I do am, they go catch me. The probability for me they catch me is high. That go make I not go and do am. Or if they catch me, they will give me very severe punishment. We go deter me, go make I not go do am. So each decision, if you can you make that decision they based on the cost here or those benefits. Look for example, then people that will get fake degree, where they come, they say they get degree, where they like. They don't go all around the country, they don't do investigation. But wait not be the penalty. They don't do anything. So it's possible for say post system go there, instead say, Mr. go back to the salon and I cannot get degree, I say I get PhD, you know, they go employ me so say and they catch money. Because the benefits surpass the cost. So what do you mean they suggest, Minister, that this issue of digitalization of the operations? One thing, now make in fact, I see for say the Minister of Education, they therefore push this issue around all the educational system of the country. When you digitize a system, they do, a number of things. One, it expand access. People that who say they not be they forget, they will get far, they will get access to education. Second, it make the system resilient. Like when crisis be, like when we get Ebola. You could then a host now, they could teach you, you could still learn. But the most important thing the bear on this question we ask is that it will make the probability of detection will be increased. Will it increase the cost of involving in these malfeasance? Thank you.
You see, when the professor talk, you dey get a lecture. Thank you very much, Professor. I really appreciate that because you introduce the issue of impunity. The fact say people get away with it. Now impunity means. I do so even by the way, on the points where the SLT man make about corruption, this that. The points where Professor makes so now the bigger points. Poor people everywhere are capable of behaving just as bad as rich people. The question now whether if you go be held accountable when you do that bad thing there. So that's my question actually for you, Mr. Commissioner. The question of impunity. I want to come back to you. And then the 2 minutes that they are ready for response. Again, on the question of impunity, I think it's a very important question for higher education and as well for basic and senior secondary education. Yeah. How do we respond to this question? Say, people the way they cheat, will they catch them, will they left them? We know they hold them accountable. Yes, sir.
No, thank you. So, for example, examination malpractice a generally administrative issue, not a law enforcement issue. It just can be say, for example, at that time when we intervene in that kind of way, was because we realized that administratively not much was being done. We will make reports with the Senam and we will not be getting a response, so we get. So it was to capture the attention of the people. And I remember in recent times, ministers sometimes don't call me and I say no. Our role as Anti-Corruption Commission is not to monitor exams. We should not be doing that. We only did it at that time to draw your attention. Now that we have your attention, do what has to be done to fix this problem on a mass scale. So things like impunity, for example, we do reports. Look, minister there, all the time we refer to them. Okay? I just don't get a report. I don't tell, say, in the schools we went, if you read this report, you find out, say, there was a huge coordination, principals, teachers, parents, administrators, security sector, of them working together. Are you going to take all of them, prosecute them at ACC and put them in prison? No, that would be a waste of time, a waste of resources, and it will be most ineffective. So it's a question of the administrative system organizing itself properly to handle this and then to deal with it. And then it comes back again to what he said about the recruitment of principals and the sanctions that apply to those who engage in things like this. Are they going to continue? So basically, when it comes to impunity, all of us have to do. Right now, we have a teacher in custody. This teacher, one WAEC supervisor, gave him papers to mark on his behalf. So WAEC supervisor, then give WAEC, give papers there for mark. Then intake them paper there, give one teacher for help and mark. The teacher take the paper there, put the envelope on their arm. They go from house to house, they knock on the parents' door. And say, parents, you picking Nancy Cisse sit NPSC, not to so. You say yes. I get a paper now. I want 300,000 euros and they make Nancy take that paper back today. Then I mark her now. Before I submit to WAEC. We get that teacher there in custody right now. All right. So, this, not to guesswork, and I've been telling the minister this before I come here. I say, me in a law enforcement person, I'm not a policy man. I'm not there for negotiate salaries. I'm not there for negotiate costs. I don't even want to be part of the conversation around salaries. Me just believe, say, if somebody engage in examination malpractice, that person there for be held accountable, period.
Full stop.
If you are not paid well, that is a problem between you and your employer. And for come here and sit down to listen to this. And I will tell Minister Gisno, you cannot be having a conversation on people cheating, and in that same conversation, we they get a conversation on the salary of the person where they commit the cheating.
I'm telling you.
It's a fundamental error. And when I okay, clap all you want. Clap. But you are clapping away your futures because these are justifications that are never going to end. Every money you get, every salary they pay you, you will want more. So teachers are never going to be happy with their salaries until you all die and go. But you can sit down here when they say teachers are not paid well, therefore they are cheating, and you clap your way and you are happy about it. I am telling you, this is a serious problem. And in this conversation we get now, we are either talking about the solutions of dealing with examination malpractice and block out every other thing.
Thank you.
We just allow it to go.
Thank you, sir. By the way, the people the way they become examiner na you next exam. The people the way na examiner them na WAEC, the teacher where they in custody now. When you go for le WAEC hire you as examiner for mark paper, you they get contract with WAEC. Then they pay you for being an examiner. You know, still stop that post where they pay them. For let go around and knock and still cheat. The kind of commissioner say, you can clap all you want. Any country will not get a commitment on integrity. Not to integrity, not nothing to do with how much you are paid. They don't do multiple studies all over the world. But some of the biggest thief money are the people who they pay the biggest. The biggest banks, the owners and the thief money at the end of the day. You don't get nothing for doing it. You either have integrity or you don't. And they tell you, say, me mama, he teach for 40 years almost. Me mama. He sell all kinds of things. I come on school, I go sell kerosene. I come on people who sabi me, they know that. We sold everything. So you know go cheat. So person they convince me, say, I cheat because they not pay me enough. Administrative sanctions. Lord, go ahead, sir.
Okay, I think myself the reinforce within check no say me self my mama and papa and I be teacher and then working at the 80s and what he say, you know, this na age business, but what he say in the 80s you dey go months, you know, get salary. And wallahi, I can talk now confidently. They can record me people in the scene at the diaspora. They're not one day involved by malpractice. My own values came from them. So that's not the first thing. The second thing also is a point that the commissioner made. You know, it's interesting. I was thinking before I say, me not the only minister, every tell what the media, I did get me union. In a day at the same stage with me, along with civil societies, everything. So that is not a bad thing, because but what it mean? It means to say anything I say, there is a counter. You understand me? What you mean? I beg the media them for do. You know, seriously, we don't make some serious inroads in education. I want to now call me, let's talk outside of this. We dey deal with this, but let's talk outside of this. The reason why they say so, the president in the next month, they be the key model for the replenishment of GP, the biggest education funding at the world.
Global Partnership for Education.
Global Partnership for Education. They get 190 heads of states in the world. Then choose them. Why? Because of the thing that what they do in this country. Like at the look at TikTok, the Liberian minister, it introduced civic education. Just this last week now it took. We don't do civic education years ago. Then with the reviewer now. The Ghanaians are the talk now, say we they begin teach speaking and Chinese now primary school. The Minister of Higher Education will tell you that we don't go we begin in primary schools, state schools, then they talk Chinese. Yes, the Minister of Education at Ghana, now they think about that. But let's address the problem. You know, when I start or look at what would they do, I start off say we they introduce a WAEC bill. This now for deal with them very same issue where they talk. The last time what the bill will be get in 1984, the year when myself take O levels. You understand? So we know we get the tools there, we give you all the good and that with it. Now, just before I can at this meeting, me and my leadership team, they review the TSA Act. in that act there we they say the whole acts now only focus on government and government assisted schools. Now we they say we need to bring private schools inside this school because some of the problems that we get in private schools. This go give you the teeth for really deal with this situation. But if you look at the Basic Education Act also, it spell out very clearly sanctions that we'll get for put against this. Therefore, at the Yeri Alfonso 110 over the weekend, they talk about section 26, section 80, 82, and all that. And we get the rules. And let me say this, what I said to Najis now. I say 58 principle, we suspend them for 1 year without salary. So the action they take, even for worse, we don't sign another taking. Because we know all the game the way they play, which we own principle them. Now we wait for the results. Safu one, we know what in and don't do. And perhaps we will get them, I will tell another. But let me so when the individuals are caught, we they take action. Me and the commissioner they talk all time. But in addition to that, there is a difference between what we call malpractice, that a way picking duty way you're not supposed to do now the exam, bring foreign materials and waiting. I just Google this now. I said then they get malpractice in UK exams there. Well, lie, then they get. You Google it yourself.
Of course.
Yes. The second thing where they get, now what they call maladministration. This now where the school itself condone some of their action. And in terms of action, the would they take, we they suspend centers. If we know say center they involved in malpractices or maladministration, then they open paper the term before the exam be and all that. These actions we they take them. Right. And what would they do? Will they bring more legislation for giving more teeth for do this?
Thank you, Minister.
No, but like one more thing. I see people in clap where the SLTU person talk about salaries. Now, this maladministration who they deal with about people who will not submit, the failure to submit CAS. Now, private school, not to government, they pay them. Last week, I go meet one other one where they say for take exam, the results, then they charge. Now, private school, not to government, they pay them. So this notion that, if you not get salary high, for profession they now, where they get them challenged there. But I know they see that kind of action within that. So for me, no fence solution. I don't get all the solution, but I can work with you now and collaborate for fence solution.
And another could so we all go talk about how together we all go address this problem. I want to we move slightly, Madam Minister, if you allow me, to internal control measures, because you talk about maladministration, but within the university sector, for example, what step then they will they put in place for make sure say we not get to corruption in the first place. Within that is something that we will need for do. So we don't need for even the crime be committed for think about impunity, but some internal control. And then Professor mentioned this thing quickly while you comment on fake degrees within the university they do for make sure say if we catch you say possibly lie by your paper, whose step they wanna go for take for address that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. So the first point about waiting at the internal controls them will get within the sector. So within technical and higher education is slightly different because we need to handle public exams. So the administration within the universities, as I said earlier, now they get them policies and punitive measures them if you're found wanting for different levels of crime. But having said that, I've been fortunate enough for serve as a lecturer within a university in Sierra Leone, as a head of department, as dean, before I was appointed as minister. So I don't get first-hand experience as to how some of them so they unfold within the institutions of higher learning. And taking that into consideration, one thing where I firmly believe say we need for embrace now the use of digital platforms then. But it's not going to happen overnight. Now, but what they get in conversation there, so it's of value because me own greatest fear now for say examination malpractice, it's almost becoming a societal norm. It's just we always find a reason for justifying. When I the lecture, while they go inside the lecture room, my students will attest to this. I always say to them, I'm not just there for personal knowledge in my subject area. Most of them they look up to me. How I carry myself is very important because to man I get for be the future leaders them. So while they within we higher education institutions then, they're not for CCA examination malpractice na normal thing because that is what they will take into their professional lives and pass on to them picking them. So when do we break the cycle? Ask any of me students then. They know what I stand for. Examination 10. When I simult high all the time, examination time, I dress like soldier man for going invigilate. Nobody need to talk to me safe and they laugh safe to nobody. And they know what I stand for when it comes to examination and examination malpractice. I get if there's a number beyond zero tolerance, that is what I have when it comes to malpractice because I know what thing that they will do to a nation. Especially now as minister, you see what the government don't invest into education. We cannot afford for ladies to become something when a part and parcel of we. So one way we can use for minimize this, unfortunately enough, for remove the human touch or minimize the human touch and use technology. Technology to help in terms of efficiency, accountability, transparency. Like I said, not to happen overnight because it needs a significant amount of investment into resources. Them. What do we think? I forget multifunctional ICT rooms. Them across all we higher education institutions. Them multifunctional with adequate computers. Them meaning we take count for exam, not to paper. You need to write na paper anymore. You go inside the examination, the multifunctional suite. You do your examination online. We get multiple choice questions. We get short answer questions. You multiple choice question, we get random question bank. So question 1 to me and question 1 to Uda Sidonia, me not to the same. So if I want to
if you copy now,
if I want confess if now the wrong thing we talk about. So then they now one way then they for address them. You click submit, there's a marking scheme on the back end. Immediately the grades are there. Short answer question. We all know about artificial intelligence. We train other countries, they train AI on the marking scheme for the short answer question.
Wonderful.
You click submit, the AI they mark, then the head of department can go in now and do quality check for make sure say the AI gets them right. So for minimize that, and this is something we don't pilots na IPAM. The platform was developed by a lecturer on IPAM. The students and don't embrace them, and we they work now with the institutions them and the partners them for see how we can scale that.
And this is not a clap for. I see. But man has the pull back say, hey, so no go for the able for the spy again.
Well, you know, surprisingly, where I go, I am, where they show me this examination platform. I mean, they think say the students are not going to embrace them. The students embrace them past the administrators themselves. And then they tell me, say, Madam Minister, when we'll get this now at other universities, they will pay us themselves benefits from this.
Wonderful.
You also ask about fake degrees.
Yes, quickly, Minister.
Fake degrees. So we know the Dominion era. Me not being lecturer. And we all go do verification. We all go submit with degree qualifications them for lady institutions them verify say we degree they're authentic. Since then, nothing no happen to the best of my knowledge. Or nothing, sometimes things and they happen slowly behind the scenes. But when I assume office, I've been don't reach out and write to the Tertiary Education Commission say, let we go back and revisit that exercise day. Because when we do that, then people ain't go no say the one that we choose for go down that path, they no say we know they tolerate dandy within we higher education institutions because now they are the finishing house for young people that we get for take up leadership positions in the future. We cannot afford for entertain anything of that nature. They become the wrong message with the same.
Thank you very much, Madam Minister. Make a count to WAEC. The grand conspiracy, they go back to WAEC was named in the Grand Conspiracy. And I think say recently we hear no less a person than His Excellency the President Sef call out say WAEC Sef for play a role. We talk about internal control, we talk about digitization now. Is all the waiting our WAEC in your observation on this issue of the threats to education integrity in us alone and waiting WAEC they do as well for address that. You get 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister, and would tell thank you all the previous speakers there now. I know say now this country, the moment we talk about exam malpractice, now WAEC everybody, but would tell the general public now in your role for play. Of course, Mr. Ben Kalfella don't make some points them way I want clarify again. But one thing we are the assure the public, WAEC will get what we call integrity. And that integrity they we still they maintain them during the conduct of the examination. The one the way they go to the field, they know. Because you they go to the field outside there, where they conduct exam, and the one where they just sit down in office waiting and they tell them a different with waiting you they see at the field. So we know say examination malpractice now a threat not only to the reputation, not only to the image of WAEC, but even to the development of this country. So therefore, WAEC not they condone that. Mr. Ben Kelfala make comment on case na Aberdeen, we happened in 2018 or 2019. Of course, we self will get measures. The moment a center don't begin play examination malpractice, we know even if we not go to that center there, we get what we call measures the way they determine for say this center don't begin play certain havoc and we they concentrate on that center there where the measures then they know. So we get a communique for ensure transparency in the examination, wherein the anti-corruption is a signatory, the Ministry of Education, SLTU, CPSS, now a communique, and we know they move none of the confidential material and they without security escorts. So therefore, when you get that intelligence, of course, we as the minister, they say, we began 1984, we then they try for revise now and let them pass them. We will not get any power for enter na somebody in house and do any raid. So therefore, we get the security forces then we get the law enforcement agency then. We they communicate their intelligence there to either the CID, the police, and the anti-corruption. So therefore, we communicate, and indeed, the radar house day, of course, a staff na WAEC be involved. So law make it clear. Then from that next day, if they meet that staff day, in no one day appear again na WAEC because we know they condone that. So we get another issue again, where I want to clarify now, where we self-report 2024 marking, where we get an examiner, will be the copy direct from the marking scheme. An examiner, a teacher, a lecturer back for that matter. We take them, we report to anti-corruption. We know they condone examination malpractice, and indeed, they indict them, and now I know say it is served in prison sentence. So we do them. Then again, he make mention of this NPSC, who get the saga. An examiner again, who they talk about. NPSC na traditional marking. What you call traditional marking? You as the examiner. So let clarify, examiner then are teachers them, not to even WAEC they mark the paper. Now the teachers them from various schools with the
When they pay them well, with the mark.
With the contract then teachers then they for let them mark them papers.
But when they pay them separate
from
the normal salary.
Would they pay them extra for that service day?
Okay.
So the teacher would they give the question, the script of the candidates them, then go mark then count them. Then this teacher, what he do, as the commissioner explained, he begin go knock then school and the way then get in paper them.
So man get confidence.
Talk to the headmaster then they. So and indeed we still get people that we get integrity. Then call you, say, hey, so examiner, oh, na give una paper. Now you don't begin trade with them paper, then they will trace the examiner, will report the matter na CID, then catch the examiner with the one way higher for the go to them school, and the CID be investigate the matter up to a point where then transfer into anti-corruption. The commissioner, they be a witness that. Now they take them matter, then they. So another stuff again in 2018.
Quick points why will you address. How paper can leak?
Yeah, the leakage of question paper, that an assumption where me and you two, what we sit on I get. Because we know waiting the social law talk. Law come in. Law come in. We get various forms of examination malpractice. We get various forms of examination malpractice. Let me explain. Not to how
respond. Go ahead, sir.
Una they think about leakage. Now so we the exam officers they think about leakage.
So explain to we now.
Leakage now when the paper come on, it they out to the public before WAEC they release and in custody. That we call leakage. We get what you call foreknowledge. Wherein when we don't distribute them paper there, the time for conduct examination don't come, we release the code, they open, they begin snap them, send on our social media, then they not to leakage, now foreknowledge. Where it don't come on our own custody. So that's any examining body, they tell you say leakage and foreknowledge is different. Of course, we know everything, we self in at the social media.
But wait. Sorry, sir. I ask a very specific question. How paper can leak?
Now the question I
or you want to say paper no want the leak?
Me no experience in this with age. Oh.
All right, so now allow finish. Land. Hey, okay. Now let's settle down.
Yes. Things then the way they send out. Where then they send out before the exams. Me self get phone. I they see them till then they 1 year, they very recently, where mathematics, when a big paper, somebody send them, and they go to one center for conduct exam. Now that very next for the clean morning, he send mathematics to me. He say in Peking and say, now mathematics paper, this, we don't leak. Now that I tell her, say, Mr. Principal, Lord, we wait in the morning till we open the paper. Myself, we don't get the questions at all. So we open the paper because me be busy in the morning for it. Now in first call back say, hey, say Mr. Kamara, that's in a fake. He say not to waiting then at the paper. And not to waiting then at the question paper at the beginning and go meet. Right. So this is not some of the problem the way we they call leakage.
All right. So, I want to cancel the student name. Low cancel Madam Mary Julius, where they represent the school picking them. Now the PRO for Children's Forum Network. May you don't listen to all the adults and don't talk. Within this in the conspiracy way commissioner outline, it says school picking themselves today. Although you use some of the teacher themselves don't say in they know work hard, then they clap with and give reason for corruption. President Bioki like for tell the story, say somebody do video, then send them to her. We say, President Bioki back, you want to say back, you know, be spy when we go school. Let allow self spy. The power is just petrified. Now, like what I talk to just no say way somebody to justify corruption for me, me skin the call, especially from the perspective of a teacher. Because me, I know how my mama raised me, I know how my papa raised me when it comes to the end day. So President Bio, they always talk about this issue. You know, he understand say parents go combat. I you go meet teacher being teacher. The post way for me the symbol of integrity. Principal, he say no, law arrange, I give you small thing, give me the paper, you go through. Then they so extraordinary to me. So what's in a picking the whole inside this, and what's in a young comments on this conversation with you so far. Then we'll end with society that will cancel now. Go ahead, Mary.
Good afternoon, everybody. Me, your name na Mary Julius, and just a correction, I am no longer the Deputy Public Relations Officer for the Children's Forum Network, but I am now the contesting candidate for the National President of the Children's Forum.
I stand corrected.
So for me, education, na knowledge plus skills plus values them. Where we get in this the education, where we forget. And the topic, how do we address the threats to quality education in Sierra Leone? But before I go first to the topic, would that we think say we for blame for examination malpractice na alone? Now, is it the schools? Is it the teachers? Are we the people to be blamed? Is it the civil society? Is it WAEC? Well, that's which I don't know. I want to let know for Sina Salon also we get three types of schools then. We get one the multi-million-dollar schools where they pay almost million per term. When you're not even the part of the system set the educational system. Then they take we own public exams them. And then we also get the private schools them where people learn people say expect to say if I post me behind this school also, me picking it for past exam because of the kind of amount of school fees where are they pay for this me picking also. And also we get the government schools them, where some people like you think for saying that the less privileged schools them, where some of we they attend. So back. So who is to be blamed? Are the schools them? Are the ministry will change with syllabus inside just something like a year and then and then the next year so the ministry be changed with syllabus then from the old system, come to the new system, talk for say, we need for do if you did ask, you need to do mathematics. And then when we go SST, then count the curriculum back and say we need for return back to the old curriculum. And when small people are not be able to comprehend with that new system, then they whether the counts for the education as a whole. And also is this we teachers them where they need to pay salaries at on time where they say okay me picking a lot just get a one lesson one private lesson all I focus on this private school because pay me book money but let me just be just is it still the kind of salary where they pay with teachers them and then also and and then also is it why social workers them the one where they're gonna schools them doing examination and sign they talk for say if we're not give me 200,000 for maths need to work my ass so or why securities them where they share us where they link us paper because this year also English paper it leaked and we not sit exam say around 4 o'clock now they begin hurt me because not sit exam we go for something like 2 hours exam we not sit exam say 4 o'clock up to 7 o'clock before we start for sit English examination and then also I want to talk about we just dey talk about how to address threats to equality I also got for learn for say picking them where they attend where
Allow listen, please. Yes.
children with disability, especially children with visually impaired, them picking they not get class GSS level. So you think that then equality for them picking and they were disabled? Yes, Mr. Minister, I will rephrase it again. You think say it is just an equality for picking them where visually impaired, where just they say if you see MPSC vocational skills that they go land, they don't get for go again SS and GSS. You think so that then equality for picking them as we address the equality of education towards children, all children in Sierra Leone? Because you think say it's just for like picking way okay go be doctor. What if them picking them also want to be doctors and they also get bigger dreams apart from vocational skills then? And then also you think so now we parents that we for blame. We parents that we go do anything when I know for say most of the people in our Sido when our parents them you think say the minister Siba no go do anything so far even send the picking abroad for making go study or even do any kind of thing for making picking get good education. You think so if they ask you as parents say say you as parents if you give so money for you picking start picking go pass you think say me parents no go you think say parents no go do that for them picking them and and then also we dey talk about the digital world We know for say parents them right now, we school them right now, instead of them say buy textbook, we say for buy phone for your picking. Because we all know for say phone and they all seen there right now. And then also the phone gets an advantage, also a greater disadvantage. So picking them because parents then monitor them, picking them again and all that stuff then. And then also with all the heads of big people empower education business they also. Who does now so for take accountability for examination of practice now alone? Who does we want for all my house? So that's my question. I'll leave it to you, sir.
Thank you very much. May Julius contesting for the presidency of Children's Forum Network. As I really glad we're there, and I'm glad for the perspective the way you don't bring up. But since you ask a direct question as a parent, if somebody go ask me, say, la, pay money for let me picking pass over my dead body. Over my dead body. I'm not sabi for bringing that conversation to me, papa. From where they go up. I'm not crazy for go tell me, papa. My papa, people they know I'm been teaching independence for many years. And the thought of that day for counts and say, they go ask me, papa, say, well, papa, for let me say pass, all man they do, and he go tell me, say, me not to all man. Now make a day so today. Any parents will they join hand for pay for them picking cheats. That parent they not to the picking leg, now the picking they destroy. Minister, before we come to Alfonso Manley, he asked a very direct question. Maybe you want to clarify on people with disabilities, kids who are visually impaired, when they send them forcefully out of the formal school system directly into tech voc.
You know, there are quite a lot of assumptions. So, before I answer that, let's go back to the curriculum. Why academia? And they go attest to it here they say. The WAEC rules say when you introduce a new curriculum, it will take 3 years before you assess the MPKND on that curriculum. This exam will take, we get 2 pathways. We get the one pathway when I be the new curriculum, where again, I just tell you, say it will take 3 years before you take the exam. So the idea that we change the curriculum inside 1 year, it's not accurate. The second is the fact that we really say some school and don't do that. It is on that basis for save a crisis. We went back to WAEC and make a case that we need for bring back the old curriculum and let the 2 pathways then go together. That's why we don't get a crisis.
So each school they choose.
Each school they choose. So if they don't misinform the students, then still get now the opportunity for just say to the student, you don't go back to the old curriculum, continue for work with the old curriculum. So we get that facility there for 2 years. This year now it will be the end of that facility there. So it is not right. You know, the system not perfect. But I can tell you one thing. I don't think that this business for long. I sometimes I can shame myself for see how long I don't go. Because if I talk almost how long I don't think that the business, some people are already at this stage. The experience is big past them. So anything will come na this system. I can't tell you say I go get 100% too, but I go sit down with my team na the ministry. We find solution. We look at various options. We approach people, and we're not going to understand how much down they go. Sometimes and then the last time we get problem with cars. Now the Nigerians they now go talk to. And me and do that and they all behind the scenes. I know they talk boku. And they try for us to make sure say this system not ever get any problem. We just introduce life practicals. After 7 years of absence, we not tell you say perfect too, but we spend over $500,000 for make sure say that exam day happen. We get 110,000 students, then we take science subjects and we take practicals this year. There's no crisis. We get to look at the results and we go learn from that, but accurate. This other thing about
Visually impaired.
Visually impaired. Let me tell you one interesting thing. 2 years ago, a group of visually impaired students came to me now minister no now 3 years ago, because the new education officer no be quiet. Then come meet with and complain say for the last 3 years they no dey pass exam for go university. This na academic subjects. They need to pass. So I instructed the then chief education officer. I say, follow we sit down with them PKR, we look waiting at them problem be. What we find out was that the school they not be the tell we say the beginning get them blind. So what did happen? We they submit the beginning like normal beginning. Then when then go you go find out say the beginning blind. Then even they submit cast marks for beginning where they can't if you blind, you visually impaired, you cannot do maths. Then we test one new method for do maths for 1 year. But we get marks for people that we get marks for people that will go do maths. So we review the system there and then. To be honest, WAEC was very collaborative in that process. We put what we call reasonable adjustments for them PKR we visually impaired. You know what happened? Then begin pass. Then come back to me. They can't tell me. I meet then one other thing na one hotel na beach where we get on inclusive education. Then September we thank you for who listen to them and we respond to them. So this idea about pushing them down the vocational line, I am not aware of it. If that is the case, anybody who is visually impaired in that situation, please come back to me. Let we have no say now this they happen at the system and let we try for fix them. But as far as I am aware, I am not aware of that. And last but
and also the policy. There's no policy by this government to do that.
And last but by no means the list, since you talk about technical and vocational education, we ministry now. We don't get problem with technical and vocational education. Alfonso Akisido, watch the clip there. So you talk about the fact for abolish Becker because the whole idea behind the 6334 was that they get to the senior secondary school, they get two pathways: general academic and then the vocational.
Technical, yeah.
And you say the technical not they happen. Let me give you confirmation. See, we work with MasterCard, and we they bring them back with a vengeance, with a pilot and attend schools, and with a try for getting money. As soon as they announce that, they go come back to the public and tell the public, wallahi, whatever happened with the feds, this one, when we talk about the do and the prover.
Thank you very much, sir. But Minister, I want to add one sentence there, and then we'll come to Alfonso.
I just want to add to the TVET component.
No, fine.
So we get the issue with the TVET tutors in our schools, TSC, whether or not they're for the TSC or not. We don't create now under we regulatory agency, NCTVE, a department for teacher recruitment and management. So they get signed for monitor them and for getting the support. Thank you.
And the one more thing where I would just say now that teachers, then payment then they come on time. You can get a conversation about how much then they pay them. But under President Bill, public sector workers are paid on time. So, Madam President, I just want to make sure say we can make the claims they make, but we can make sure say then claim then we there for make sure say like the minister say we clarify. With the Council of Civil Society, they will come back to now, they will come interact more with the audience. Alfonso will get comments on most of the things they were doing now. So instead of the 3 minutes, we'll give 5 minutes. So go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I want to thank the Ministry of Civic Education for this very, very important town hall meeting because it's really, really important. Education, I go take you from one stage to another stage, and that pathway continuum, you will see prosperity. Now, me want focus because I don't do a lot of discussion on education, and I believe say the states they listen. Me want focus waiting they cause this malpractice and no solution will get so it will stop. Now, majority of the picking they will prepare for go sit exam, then they go another examination hall, they half aid empty. They don't know what's in and go right. And that is the biggest challenge we must solve. How? In a school system, you have what is called education, measurement, and evaluation. That's one. Two, in the school system, you have what is called assessments. And in the school system, we also get what it take for the one the way they teach the pikin them for ensuring say they are properly trained, they are afraid with the curriculum, they are afraid with the syllabus, then get scheme of work, then they prepare lesson notes, then get lesson plan for deliver the lesson, and they are well motivated. Let's start now the first one. When them pikin don't go from one, I left the primary first. When the teacher give the pikin assignments for gonna host, where they can submit the assignments. If you submit the assignment with 50 Leone, you don't get 60 straight. Now the reality of the talk, when you submit the assignment with 100 Leone, you don't get 70 straight. Now this speaking a depend JSS 1, a depend JSS 2, a depend on JSS 3. And the school now they get a system for assessment picking there. In assessment, we get two types. We get the formative assessment when that normal test work in they give them for say this topic what I don't teach you, and they assess you and see how they perform. And this type of assessment, what they give them test, we get test retest method, we get the parallel method, we get the split half method, we get the Kutzal Richardson method for assess them, for understanding that they take in. When we don't miss that one day, we allow the picking them for go attempt exam. You don't know how they have to understand which you don't teach them. You don't assess them for no say, then they above the examination, then go teach, then go there. When the picking they reach at the hall, the only thing then they look for now for access the network of examination malpractice people the way they MBSSC, 2, security apparatus, 3, WAEC, number 4. I know they call teacher them because I say teacher them, they all under MBSSC. Now they creature them, now they employ them, for teach them picking there. So MBSSC, because they has the responsibility. Now you get the Teaching Service Commission. Me go tell you say the TSC, as civil society they monitor education. From the appointment of yes, Conrad do well there. Because at a time will be so challenging for certain that I do very well. But from where land scanning, the aspects where Teaching Service Commission not even that kind of resources they get for support Teaching Service Commission, therefore don't do pass with so because the very first time I experienced and trained on class 1 teacher, class 1, class 2 teacher, no left because of the very fact say President Bill, the UN Secretary General get 5 champions of education. And it choose as foundational learning. So this malpractice, let we make town hall meeting, we make all kind meeting. If they not teach them picking they are, they assess them. Don't we ensure say before they go sit, we say, okay, you prepare well, go sit exam. It always go to get malpractice. That's number 1. Number 2, when teacher they teach, first of all, I'm glad the number one thing they call for the school heads them. We can get some principal them when they sit on the office for morning. Say school common, you know, they come inside the office, and then they sit down. The only thing you see, they see them where parents come for can do admission. They do admission from term 1 to term 3. Every day, then they do admission at school. Every day, them principal them, they do admission. Now, what's not the rule? If you don't get the curriculum, first of all, are the bigger documents, when are the ministry they design that curriculum? So now this area and this area and this area for teach. Inside that curriculum, each subject they go to they call syllabus. That syllabus the teacher for preparatory they call scheme of work. Week 1, now this our achieve. Week 2, now this our achieve. Week 3, now that scheme of work they submit to the head of the department where they can go to the principal. So when the principal then in office, they go not say week 1, pan geography, now this is for cover. Week 2, pan geography, now this. So if they call you week 5, they say, who you there now? They look your scheme of work. Wait till you tell I say, now this I say, no, but this is scheme of work we prepare. This way they tell me so week 5. Now week 2 if I don't do them. What's not the issue? You discuss, you move them. But the beginning they go attempt examination half empty. Then na NPSC, na Beke, na WAS because of the laziness where the teacher, and also all teachers, so most of the teacher them now for pay and pass, pay and pass, pay and pass. Lastly, who say ministry their own kind side. Minister Conrad do very well with one thing I will always applaud him for the sector. We always make the complaint for English language. But I can always tell and say, Minister, any way they do it carry it, we're not in the education sector plan. Don't know for let them put money for its sustainability and continuity is difficult. Then go give that first money for introduce the program. It gets a whole conference for English language. Maybe I go here and understand that conference day. What you want to they mark the paper, bring out. If me miss it before President Bia for say one of the solutions to this education business, now this kind of conference for address English language, because it's a compulsory subject, irrespective of the scheme where they for making it to the university, you get for pass English. The ministry also, they get what they call squams, where for monitor school. Inside the school system, you get board of governors for secondary school. One of the most powerful committee, now the visitation committee. When the visitation committee go to school, they look at teacher attendance, they look at scheme of work, they look at the register, they look at how they run the entire school. The minister now they get that information there for take decision. The SQA they went at them board and they send them reports and they go give the minister for say, and he watch. Then they try, but when it comes to this, now they lack, now they make progress. Then the minister they get that report say. So there is a whole gap between the board and the ministry administration. And when they look at the power of the board so gets power, but the same work with the board for they do, the ministry they do. So the principal they regard the board. When the ministry, when the school get issue, if they call direct the DD, you say, Alpha, now this problem I get. And then they call him board chairman. And the board responsible for the implementation of policies. So they get that gap. So me, for solve malpractice, teach the picking the well. Assess them well. When you assess them well, you go know say this picking is prepare for write this exam or not. Other than that, it let you do awareness, say left malpractice, Ben go put in a court, it no go stop. Because the picking then they go half 8 empty now the examination. Now that aspect they will for work on for ensure say teacher teaching well, motivate teacher for doing job very well. NASIT, the last one, try NASIT. One of the biggest contributors to NASIT, na teacher them. The current act not permits NASIT for bill quarter for teacher them, but you can go and change and not to stone. Now law, they go one change constitution so. You can get the documents for say, when you don't get placed like a Falaba, Koinadugu, then remote salary teacher need they give for Sidom. Bill 2 Mempara, 3 Mempara, take them to the benefits. When that teacher don't get quarter, it they teach at home. You know, so for again going to malpractice for begin fair money for buy cement or bills. When teacher and buy freezer, they will get scheme for the winner higher purchase. Who's teacher will put 23 million buy freezer? But then get outside they go make undertake. He said this teacher go to pay for this freezer 200,000 for month, 200,000. So you go get freezer. So on that note, this malpractice, me as CSO, where this education sector, I understand them very well. And I do my masters now in education. Now, Mr. Me don't make I go do and go sit down for talk. Then say I might not read education. So I go read and also when we say the talk, I get authority for talk for solve the problem. So dear
Alfonso Manley, thank you very much, my brother. Like I say, it's a bit sector. I work in the civil society, and I make the government. By the way, I just say not to so this country be new. We president, you don't make so they can sit on so together. ACC commissioner, principal, minister, civil society, WAEC. For more they go up na ya not been the zoo. Not so. Eh? For let can then talk to we all my talk to we I want we talk to who self young person fire we teacher fire we all who clap who laugh. This is a new culture of democracy we will proud of Nasalon we want continue for maintain. The only way this will succeed now we will treat her with respect and we respect each other. We get frank, tough conversation. But everybody learn from each other. Me said I learn a lot from all manner today. Now on a turn for continue the same speed. Yeah, the simple rule they can follow. Give you the mic at the time. You talk for 1 minute. At exactly 1 minute, I pull the mic now you are. So we allow the first round at the try for take up to 10 to 12 people. Okay? So I will let other one talk, you put up your hand. When I point, you talk. Okay? So will they take 10? This first one first. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Yellow is white boy, they give you number 4, Number 5, the gentleman with the cap. Okay? Lord with 5. The next 5 with the cancel. Lord 2. So I'm not going to forget the one that we get the number there. Remember on the number there. Lord go. Una please take notes. So we'll comment and respond after. Yeah?
Yeah. My name na Mahmoud Sila iWatch online. My question will go to the Minister of Higher Education. He talked about digital platform. He said digital platform, they address the exam malpractice. Now, the question, Diana, is that if we are moving to digital platform or the technology, the mind behind the technology or the digital platform we are going to use, how do we control these people who are going to be behind the digital platform?
All right. Thank you, sir. Number 2, Pakamaya.
Mohammed Kamara, the Watch and the Humanity newspaper, SLTU. We in the journalism, we got ethics and media law. You from what you talk, you answer me say SLTU, and teaching professional get ethics for follow. Principal, sir, chairman. Academy teach will say better to be than to sin. But what you talk now, yeah, you feel for when I say human behavior unpredictable, not cover the principles. Accept what the commissioner says. Yes, indeed, the principles that participate in body and corruption in this country. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Truth Media next.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is David Aspen Solomon. I report for Truth Media. My question is go for WAEC. So WAEC, it wouldn't be a coincidence that the president sent him up before the country in Makeni for the second time and talk say yes, he gave evidence say WAEC, Kumgarem, they involved in malpractice. I want for just ask when say what one they do because the president been say get evidence is the way tie down to Danley. What una they do for see that say una we praba name they una get that name una don't already get no matter what una say before we president not talk she not believe una we self not believe una waiting at the way forward for see that say next year examination una go say paper leak again una go say picking and the paste invigilators for money. Thank you.
Thank you very much. White boy in the next 1 minute.
Mr. Minister, I mean a white boy, being a citizen. I want to talk to the teachers there. Some teachers there, they teach to school where the picking and kid on in a classroom. They wait for the teachers. And the teacher can left the school and go teach other school. What in the minister they do towards that picking that teachers there?
Thank you, white boy. Number 4, the man with the cap.
Good afternoon, everybody. Me, your name is Charles Mansari. The Minister of Information actually say we clap now we the SLTU minister boss be the making points because say we dey try for support corruption, but that's not the case. As we all London house we clap because of he make that particular point out of 5 say corruption in this country in terms of education and because of one of the things and the way the teachers know they get enough salary and that's for say yes because majority carries the vote. 1, 2, 3, 4 will actually disagree. But my question is to the minister, Mr. Saki. What do you think? Do you not think that if we get increase and the teacher their salary, that's going to reduce corruption? Because we get country there like Denmark, Uzbekistan, or I don't know the country name. We before say thank you. We before say teachers they get enough salary, but they get low corruption in terms of education. So what when I do towards the teacher their salary when it's here for increasing or waiting?
Whose school you go, sir?
I am not in school.
Whose institution?
From Rise Radio.
Rise Radio. Thank you. All right. Now come on this side now. Let the hand and go up so we don't get 5. We'll do the next 5 and then we'll come back to the panel. I just want to get more and more voices. So we'll go start with the 2 people in front here from the media. 1, 2. Number 3, the gentleman. You get representative at the panel, so it'll talk for you. So we get 1, 2. Philippa, I don't see her. Number 3, the lady. I want more women. Number 4, the other lady with the wig over the under. And then number 5, the person where hand the last behind with the glasses. Okay? So let's try them one in the first.
Ibrahim Sarasisi, Voice of Salon Radio. I'll go back to the Minister of Education, Mr. Conrad. Taking a look at we don't visit over 5 schools in Afriton. First, the teachers do not get lesson notes, do not get register. And when you look at them, Nakisi in general, my colleagues then they will visit the schools. So waiting una they do with una quality assurance officers them for visit 10 schools then they where then teachers and they go, no get register, no get lesson notes, and even when we go they don't know the teach to begin them. Another question back to you. There are schools them in Freetown where then they take more picking them for take worse. But from JSS to SSS, school picking another day. I'll give you evidence after ya. Yeah. So that one the idea. Now go now to the teacher, the SLTU. I taught for good 10 years in secondary school. I know the system. First, we've been getting what they call the teacher code of conduct. When I was in school, when I was teaching by then. The teacher code of conduct, it gets a lot of things that we talk about bribery, we teacher accept them. Waiting una the teachers they don't do for able curtail the system they are between una self way the corruption system they play.
Okay. The code of conduct now also. Thank you very much.
Okay. Of course, when I Samsung Salon Network. I want to talk to the minister. Say, they might be don't teach for 40 years and never corrupt, but at the same time, they fail to realize the dynamics of the world. Then the woman papa them they just back to say, like just try for feed me picking them. But now you can see say we give me where there's so many blogger. I not get my left blogging for go teach because salary you know able buy this phone for me when I up to 10 to 15 million. Then the mama and papa don't be get phone. They mean they just sell potato leaf, make for the market and sell for feed we. Things them been very minimal transportation and them they get teachers and lifts. But now nobody gonna get teacher lift. You they pay for yourself and go. Okay, so now I come to the implementation of technology for minimize examination malpractice. Now we forget say why I get technology we're very advanced, but there is still malpractice. If we go to NRA, they get the ASICODA system, but you go see say corruption still there na NRA. So for let them bring the technology, not get for that kind of way reduce the malpractice. It just get for do with the humans, right? Getting the conscience say I for do the right thing. Most times I can talk say Sierra Leoneans, we don't normalize the bad things then we don't just take and say it's just normal for us to do something we wrong in the society. This get for do it. We the citizen them, we just get for gather so much civic education in the kids for we for build a better society.
Thank you. Number 3, next round. I'll respond, of course, but yeah.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Emmanuel Luque. I come out from the Human Capital Development Consortium. Now, so we Minister of Education, the two, with 22% where we don't dedicate to the ministry. How many percent they go directly to the teachers and when are the frontline workers? Because we believe, say, government can bring out the policy of the free education. But for let the education get that quality, now the one that we in at the field where they work directly. So how many percent per that 22% where we don't give with teachers and directly, where go make whether not salary or whether not benefits where they give in terms of motivation, how many percent directly would they give with frontline workers? God bless you.
Thank you very much. The lady here, yes. And then the next two after that. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Your name na Admire Toure. My question to go for the board na always so my question is, if a student engages in malpractice because of maybe pressure from parents, teachers, and society, so that we go succeed, how una go address the responsibility and rights of we the picking them? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The lady with the blonde hair, Dandy, right? I'm a bit color challenged. Yes.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Vika Nesise, and I dey online as Queen Sufi, and I dey post everything where they add positive impact to my country. And then my own first question is: most time we parents then can tell we say, oh, back then we your education system is highly supporting spy. I mean, waiting change from the system back then to we all we get right now because the world they advance. So why we go back instead of we improve more on how for totally dismiss malpractice and other things the way they bring threat to quality education. So we're struggling about sorting all of this out. And then another thing is, what do we all dey do for actually tackle these causes of malpractice and also other things them where they bring can threat to quality education. And I be actually take part of IPAM exams, and actually the system we commendable. Just that we need for add more in ensuring say and bring out what we dey expect. Because that day we will get some of trouble with the system going off, coming on. So there's more to do, but that's a good one. So to the other aspects, what would they do for tackle all of this? Thank you.
Thank you so much. The final question, the lady with the glasses at the back, and then we'll come. We'll see how we do, and then maybe we'll do another round.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. This question is going for the Anti-Corruption Commissioner. Yes, sir. So when you were talking, you stated that anti-corruption is not responsible to look into these malpractices going around schools during examination. For me, what I believe the roles and responsibility of anti-corruption is to look into these things and know how to implement this embezzlement of all, because that is misuse of funding. Imagine now a parent paying a teacher to get access to these things. Secondly, to WAEC, how do you justify that? You know, when the question came, you don't know how where paper they leak. That is not, you not even justify. Papers they come on before you even sit them. What sit them back on the fail and so pass. But imagine say paper don't come on. I forgot sit them Wednesday, come on Tuesday. They don't study everything. I go sit them back and fail. That is not justified because I don't spy. You understand? I don't study. I don't spy. Say this question they come. I go see and answer them. But on a fail me back padande. And the last question they go to Madam Wuri for the digital thing we want for implement. That is fine because I actually do am now IPAM for ICT. I sit am online. But you know the disadvantage? I will get two phones. The one phone they provide the answer for me. The other phone I dey use am for seats. So you cannot call that particular implementation credible because some of us are with many machines. I dey use the computer for seats. I take the phone, I go dey IR for go dey implement the answers them. So look into that and know how for increase teacher salary for all of these arguments for laying done.
All right. Excellent. Now this make we organize this town hall. So all these issues will come out. And we as a society go see the kind of society who they can build. And I will all go solve this problem. Una na the keynote speakers are the gonna 3 minutes for respond. And then I will give the other panelists in 2 minutes for respond. Okay? So Uda one go first. 3 minutes each. You want to start? All right.
Thank
You can use less if you want to be generous, so we can get one.
Thank you very much. I'll start with, I think all the questions I get for do with the proposed examination platform. So all the one we ask that question, Mr. Stiller asked about the people in behind the platform, how they ensure say they are not compromised. We just have to ensure so we develop a framework where you get clearly defined roles and responsibilities. You get a platform where different people then get different levels of access. So if there's any breach, you know that responsible. And I know, and this not of us saying a novelty. It's tried and tested in other countries. Them so we can even learn from their own experience. So we're not reinventing the wheel.
Including how to stop the 2 phones.
Yes, all that day. We go work with regulatory agency. I believe I see somebody from the Sexual Education Commission inside the room. Okay, TC is represented, NCTV is represented. So we go work with the two regulatory agencies then in developing that framework the way we all they understand, we own and then implement. And then somebody, the lady with the gray Brazilian, talk about the platform now IPAM, and then you say it can get glitch. Then we get to expect with technology. Some things are out of our control, and we anticipate when we start something new, there's bound to be teething problems. But we learn from them and use the lessons learned for scale them up. And to the last speaker, we also talk about exams, IPAM, ICT. To be honest with you, I'm disappointed because you're publicly accepting that you engage in malpractice. So this is the point I made earlier about it's becoming the norm, not a thing where we for publicly talk about. Somebody make the statement by. All right, okay. I know we're all passionate about the topic. Somebody make the comment say malpractice, goal where you engage in malpractice, it leads to success. Malpractice is not success. I can tell me students in a commerce for deter them. If I know see you engage in malpractice, I like you become the best doctor tomorrow. When I see you, the first thing I remember for see you engage in malpractice. Now the first thing now before I think of anything else. So yes, I'm glad so you bring up say dancing and can happen. So we go put measures in place for say nobody no go examination, you're not going to with phone safe. So now the system will they build not online, not by your phone you do your exam. Your phone not secure. Now multifunctional ICT spaces them computers the way you don't vet. So you know they're able to get access to the internet for answer question. Now that system they with its guy for bill. Even now when you take exam, you're going with phone foreign material. You go with phone foreign material, now automatic malpractice dandy. So we go take all that into consideration and develop a system where we will all be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Minister Conrad, you get quite a few comments and questions, so go for it.
Okay, let me start off with white boy first. He say teacher then they work now to school there. We are aware that be they happen, and so we develop a new project called Widea. We now for use tablets and for make the teacher then do the registration. Then they use them fingerprints for make them do that registration day, and then tablets then they get GPS coordinates. We mean to say if you do that day outside of the school, then go see who side you do that day. It will then provide a dashboard for the TSC, the ministry, and myself for able to see how teacher then they attend that school. If you absent for like 6 term consecutively, we don't set up a panel where the union self depend, we're going to say we take you off the payroll. So that's using a digital solution to address that particular problem. And it means to say you not get human beings then we go where you go pay money and then go left you. The second thing, somebody talk about increase in salary. During the time where this government don't in power, for any teacher where they between scale 6 and under, then don't increase salary by 80%. For the one where they above scale 6, then don't increase salary by 75%. I also know that the wages and compensation commission don't engage the union, and the person where they really charge and they not be the former secretary general of the union. I don't see who that get for facts for the union or for teacher them better than that person. But I also hear it today, na today no my say they copy me inside one letter. I don't want to talk about that letter day, but they say they copy me, so not me you write to the TSC. But the IRE say you copy me into it. The second one, they say you visit 5 schools, then get less, they know they do lesson notes, they know they do register, then quality assurance, waiting to happen to the quality assurance officers. 2 things. Firstly, we just give quality assurance officers there motorbike, we mean to say we give them fuel back. So that thing with them they can't tell we say Oh, we not get bikes, we not get fuel, we don't give all man. You go see, if you go to my Facebook, you go see where we don't go hand down over. But in addition to that, there is something new where we do now. We leadership group, the senior management group, the new quality assurance director, they present a monthly report where they tell you on every quality assurance officer where they operate now with system. Almost school and visit, almost school and not visit yet. The challenges that will come out of their school and they, so we as a leadership team were able to respond to that. So this is a new approach that we don't take. We don't capacitate them, but in addition to that, we monitor them now going forward. The other thing where somebody mentioned is say in the lower levels, beginning within at the lower level, they're smaller than the one that we're in at the worst class. We're aware of that. We don't try to tackle this problem. Now that make we get the principal and for sign the undertaking recently. But even that undertaking, it come with some significant problem. One of the problems that we don't come with, because we say there is a maximum of 2% absence we'll go accept. People then go inside the exam, they write the names of the candidates, now the script, and then there is nothing in that script. You know the disadvantage of that? If the candidates not come, now the exam, we know the counter who they look at performance. The fact that the candidate can inside the exam, then write in name, that candidate be there inside that exam. We mean to say that candidate fail. So when the results come out this time round, una go see say now at what level, if it go not depress we performance rate. So that the worst type of crime you can commit. Waiting, I think sometimes we school leaders they don't understand, and constantly I talk to them, but they don't understand. The technology what they use is so advanced. If you get even ChatGPT, you put a document inside, you go able to know whether that same the handwriting are the same. So the ability for make we catch you when you do that kind of nonsense, it's very easy. And I don't go one for talk self, who side we they go with the handy. But with the weights. The next one at the go pan is this one about the teacher code, conduct, and what else should they do? I just talk about the WAEC Act. The WAEC Act, what they come with? They come with 3 levels of system. What did happen before the exam? So when they put you cast and all that, what did happen during the exam if paper leak and waiting? And what did happen after the exam? This is where somebody then go try for change marks and all that. All of that the WAEC bill their address. But in addition to that, as a town I just know, just before this meeting, I get leadership meeting with my leadership team. We dey go through the TSC Act. And what I don't ask them for do, now for make sure say that act they replicate what in the Basic Education Act will pass 2023. But in addition, it also aligned with the WAEC Act. So we dey tighten up the school for the action they will be able to take, so the law will able to support you. Then talk about the implementation of technology. Before I left the TSC, we introduced the licensure. I remember we go Ghana, we go look at their own system. But their own system, when they do the exam, now lecturer and they go mark the paper. Me, I not one lecturer and they mark the paper. Because the reason why we introduce the licensure now, because we will not be too satisfied with the quality of the people that will come out from the universities. So what we do now, Salon, different from Ghana, we make a computer-based assessment. Like what me colleague be they tell you say they happen at IPAM. So we get a question bank of about 10,000 questions. When you go take the exam, we only take the exam now, we all in our own computer or tablet. The questions that we only get is different. So if you spy for me, not even answer, not even question you answer. And when you click the button, when you submit, you don't get the results immediately. So this is not how we can use technology to address the problem. I understand say there are schools in Nigeria don't begin to try for use computer-based assessment for even when they take WAEC exams. And this year, to be honest with you, with a little bit of resources, we go begin to try small. We go use that. Anything will happen. We go one stage ahead. we dey go and we go be the most digitized examination system as possible with the resources that we get.
Thank you, Minister.
I just want one other thing, because I think this is something they count quite often. 22%. 22% of the budget that between the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education and basic education are with the share. But let me tell you, waiting me big ticket items that my ministry. I they call them the 3 S's. There are salaries for teachers, subsidies for schools, and school feeding. When you look at them three, then it don't take 98% of the budget. So just for us inform you, what will they do with that 22%?
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. Commissioner.
Well, one question, say, the question they ask, basically, if we ACC not involved, the point where I make not to that we ACC not they treat examination malpractice as integrity issue. In fact, we treat them, and inside we act, we get the power for investigate, which includes arrest, detention, and prosecution. And right now, as I speak with you, people that are in custody, where they do the indictment, for charge them to court for examination malpractice. So we involve. But the points where I don't make clear, and why they know this. We MOU with everybody, almost all the sectors that were there, including the civil society, including WIEC, the ministries. We get with they all, SLTU and all. We not to examination invigilators, not to responsibility for invigilate public exams. And at that day, the public will be one turn way into. I don't tell you, I say we only become very active. We basically militarize the process because at that time nobody was listening to us. We were basically saying this examination malpractice, the kind level way they right now, is going to destroy the fabric of this nation if we do not take drastic action. And that's why nobody will pay attention. But then, after the cutting-tree incident, everybody got our attention, and now we don't take back seat again. And that back seat did not mean say we're not involved, but we prefer now let minister refer to we, let WIEC refer to we, let Alfonso refer to we, or the various actors that are refer to we. One time we say can go around for go check within the happen, and then that we roll, and then our responsibility. But for expect say now we they go for go invigilate examinations, that is not correct. And I don't make sure say I communicate that to all stakeholders, and I communicate that to my team as well. We only provide support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Kaifala, I want maybe ask you a quick follow-up question on this notion of, I know for say you get to pay you papa na be teacher, not so?
Yes. I mean, papa, yes, people, like you say, I can enjoy people that say they say Ben Kaifala hate teachers. No, I don't. My papa, Mr. Ben Kaifala, na be principal na Penembo Vocational Secondary School, PVSS.
Yes, I know this. So wait say Abwala comment on briefly. Now this notion say people needs in the 80s is somehow inferior to people needs today. It's actually not it's a very common mistake when we born make. Every generation thinks say your own needs is so unique, is superior to the generation we did before. It's a very common mistake anybody can make.
Yeah.
But maybe just comment on that in terms of
me just believe say the conditions have always been there. People always be unhappy with their salaries, with their wages. If you look at teachers in those ages, if you speak to them, they will tell you the same things. But like I think many actors that had already said this, it did not lead them for do the kind of things they already see now. But maybe there are other structural issues we need for look at, and the principal made reference to it, the recruitment, the one that when they come into the profession, how they are coming. How are people becoming principals after 1 year of teaching? Or sometimes directly from university? How are proprietors of schools just getting anybody who is saving a teacher and putting them into places, and some of them are criminals? So those are all structural issues them who will need for look at and then for deal with.
Thank you very much. Minister, you want to say something quickly on that?
Yes, just very quickly. I don't hear this before. I forget for mentioning. So 2 things they happen. One, we get a school leadership policy, where they go to cabinet in the next cabinet meeting, where they address that issue there, because we are aware that there is the possibility of that happening if you get private school, we then turn into an approved school. So that will be addressed there. But in addition to that, we capacitate the school leaders as well. I have always, Mido always believe that the biggest side where you can spend smart money per education as school leadership, because your school leader now in a set the tone
Yeah.
at the school.
There's a lot of evidence on that
Yeah.
actually across schools in the world.
So
yeah.
we get some money from the British there. We do a new framework we call a competency-based school leadership program. Then that train, I think if I'm right, about 4,000. And then we now through MasterCard, we will continue that training day and make sure say that and they continue for make we get quality school leaders.
Thank you very much. This time I start on this side. I start with Waek. You have a few questions. You get 2 minutes quickly.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope the madam will make mention of the president in statement. Of course, now the four gentlemen of the country, and we make that statement.
The mic up small.
I know say the statement don't begin be a foot. Now we don't get a gathering like this. We are in for know the strategy then we will implement, follow we tap then thing and day. Of course, we all know now say na integrity issue. So therefore, we all na Yahweh Sidom, not to just for clap we one person talk, we get a responsibility. Whether you're a teacher, you're a parent, WAEC officer, minister, we all na parent that we get responsibility for play when we dey conduct exams. So go na the field and make sure see you see waiting they happen. Then of course, examination malpractice, we know they condone that. Don't give instance where the commissioner make mention of, I don't make clarification. We sit down here, then catch me with that day, I know they above the law. Get evidence against me, present her any side, then go call me side, then for call me, then from there, then go subject me to questioning. Of course, people and they with the right now, with the commissioner don't attest to. So therefore, wait me they assure the general public now say we still they continue for uphold the integrity that institution they. I don't know if anybody there we old pass for but over 74 years. If we get anybody now, so which means say we great people them don't be at the pressure, don't fight hard for let them maintain them, and we self now we own regime with the appeal let it be a national concern to everybody. Though we not damage them at we own level.
Thank you.
Very much.
Alfonso, 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you very much. So firstly, let's look at the MTHE. Well, in terms of the MTHE, they don't do something very, very important. People them they look at this technical vocational qualification for say now HND go stop. However, people then also the national qualification framework now they don't make a pathway where if that man self they go get PhD by technical vocational, you self for go get PhD. And now kudos to the ministry. The Ministry of Technical and Higher Education talk about system strengthening, very, very important. You know, the work well done. The only issue with me and not being given a meeting, my guy, but we'll go solve that day. But the minister, we don't go to the ministry, Madam Ramatusa, don't make a lot of transformation. The scholarship, the issue very transparent. The loan scheme very transparent. I will commend them for that. But the issue of my guy, we're not on the same page. Lastly, three important short thing them. Seconds. One, for curb this malpractice, the ministry for implement section 95 of the Basic Education Act. It say NCRA for give them picking their NIN, then a NIL, compulsory. It say when they don't give them the NIL, Ministry of Education now for give them what they call unique land ID. So with this system where Conrad they talk so, if that NIL there, you get unique land ID, you don't know that not inside the school system. It's very easy for pick it up, say this particular person is not inside the school system. This other one for the minister for now appeal to President Bill. The education sector plan they come to an end next month. We they do the education sector analysis now. This now frank conversation. Up till now, Ministry of Finance not pull out resources they follow continue that work. And if the education sector analysis when I'm very, very important for us develop the next plan, it go very bad for let this plan done, we can extend them. Now get a new plan, we go look at it here. And lastly, the undertaking where minister they talk, I don't put press release. I don't ask several questions. And waiting minister we do Conrad, it's very good. Because they see say some are from 1, from 2, now 80 picking. When you submit no more names for us, now 700. Say they pull them picking and they. You from 1 that's an 100. You from 2 that's an 100. As you go no more SSS3, it don't reach 700. So that undertaking minister, the public go give you the credit where you take action. Not so when they sign the undertaking. And the exam done, are they expected by now? Work for don't tell you almost speaking absent. If you pass 2%, whether they punish them, whether they refer to ACC, or whether they terminate them service.
Thank you very much, presidential candidates. Mary.
Well, I want to thank the Ministry of Civic Education for giving us as children this platform to be in stages that matters to us. It's not only about putting us in the agenda, but also putting us in seats that are taking decisions about us. And then also, I want to say, us as the future generation was why we the future generation will become Speeder Jacksons. We know we even the boast of that, but let me refrain from such and let me try for do what is right and
Waiting, they don't become waiting. I know you big, you talk aloud.
Spider Jacksons.
Spider Jacksons? Okay. A new terminology than this. Good. Yes.
Let me try for refrain from shots and let me take accountability for your actions and let me work towards people 1 because now that's government they push towards quality education for all picking. And then also for this opportunity as a then the big platform for also plead with government for budgeting for children's farm network so as we go for going to schools and for synthesize we could be picking them about examination malpractice and how exam they go. And then also I want for also plead again for funding for the national elections for the children's farm network because we are children and we don't have money and then funding to the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs so that we're able to conduct the elections time.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I will join in that request.
Can I go to something?
Okay, quickly, please. So I will go to
just very quickly. I think Alfonso, if I think say they don't inform me, say Ministry of Finance, though deal with that incident.
alerts the bank no.
Yes.
Don't alerts.
The second one is
finance don't perform. That's what the minister say.
The second one,
yes.
This unique learner ID. You know, so we signed an undertaking in the last delivery clinic, and one of the things that we sign up to. So we will work on that.
Professor, you don't hear this conversation. I really like your initial analysis, so I'll come to you now for based on everything you don't hear. Which is your analysis? They will come to you to teacher there. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Minister. Somebody say what number the difference? I mean, we own 10 and they own 10. Well, the guy with the call, I mean, the education system is embedded in the economy. You know just eng, the Israeli economy. Yeah. So, for example, and quality education is sector, not only the start at the schools. Where's the education? Madam, if you say now we don't go to school. But for example, if the king get for worker a couple of miles for go take 5 gallon water during the morning for a couple of hours before you go school, it tire one. No amount of delivery, not the way you go do, where you go make that picking day go understand. If you come back, they don't give a assignment. The light not there for make you do an assignment. You know, the quality education could be affected. And if you get work another 2-3 miles for going to school, it will still affect the quality education. Now make this government in very wisdom and very observe. The president don't invest heavily in and try for with World Bank projects for make sure say when you open you tap water go come on. So you go to school, you fresh, you go prepare for receive the delivery.
With a feed na school.
Then it all try for the amount of investment in energy. Very soon in this country. By the end of this year or very early next year, if you touch your light could be. So you could get all the time for study. Then when they see the transportation system where they don't invest in. So that'll be the difference me on time. I go to that very powerful school where they call CKC. We not sabi CKC. Yeah? So I'll be there in a body home. Where I open the pump, water they come on. Where I put my light on, light they come. Where I go to the street, motorcar they come, bus they come, I jump inside. So I began enough time for make a concentrate on my education. So now, when they come back to that system, and I know say, if you get that kind of attendance before you go to the class, you bring up, be prepared for receive whatever delivery where they get for, deliver. And the government, they invest heavily in all of that thing they were mentioned.
Thank you so much, sir. Chairman, Conference of Principals. You don't hear all this conversation. A lot you've also been doing extensive framing for we. Which now you respond to some of the concerns that we do hear.
Thank you very much. I go on for as we did, this is a frank discussion we don't can at this town hall. I want sincerely hope that it is continued. We are in people like we, the other people there, so no one know for a particular sector, and I go bring them on board. We can talk frankly. As I sit down here, the first thing I say, I don't know really whether as a council, so we sit down here, so all my principles there, no subsidy, no date, not some subsidy, no it. I don't know how Mr. Anti-Corruption, whether I'm malpractice or not corruption. So I don't know. However, really, Mr. Minister, to be very, very honest, there is a lot of collaboration in the deliveries, as we see. I listen, the minister, we talk certain changes, radical changes that we really don't happen. Consultation by bringing us. The other time, I mean, the 98 self, they talk with the jump so go so Alfonso. We all did it, so that at least we can be able to bring out routine supposed to happen. Remember, a young man talked this now, and I say, I think things changes, yeah. And I say, they say that's within the demand now as to the demand first, and then it is. That's why I say this no. Well, that is his own way of thinking it. But integrity goes that far. Integrity goes that far. And integrity now gets to us teachers, as principals. We don't know if you wait. But you call me now, the teachers, they're there. So that's integrity, Professor. Yeah. Because we think, say, the money they come, we know say go can. But we know say we get certain thing for do now make my whole executive say go. No, I go discuss because nothing we not go caught up with, not they go along with. So that is why we are here. You understand me? Without no other thing to do. Like I say, the issue of undertakings and all of the other thing and the day, we get a very friendly CEO where they always take we party, always they consult we in whatever thing. Now we force go and listen to, so that we be able to put things into perspective. At least in one man, I think that journalists say I want hide them principle because I know one hide principles. What I say there is a dichotomy between the principles those times and the principle now. Just like that one guy say, the demands now are plenty. I say them first and principle, wait a minute, they go through these stages where I've been just don't name. My uncle not been an inspector of school. We not been teacher. What do you mean Sabi? Like I used to say, you people that have been school people, that at the 3-year time, let's say they retire 3 years, 4 years as principal head teachers. These are the people that have been brought into the ministry. Then they bring them kind of the ministry. They can retire now, like 3 years and 4 years, which it been work better. You understand me? When they do it, because you study everything at the classroom. That 2 years where they can administer 3 years, go make yourself big. You know, it's not 2 years they retire in the ministry now. But tell me how many people now are in the ministries who are squam officers and all of these things? Let we hide the thing at the bottom.
Sure.
Some of them don't even understand some of the things, so they don't go to the school.
Yeah.
Me uncle been the school where you go sign at the ministry. Now the school now the work. Now the off. So that you be able to get time for helping the teacher on their lesson note, check your thing and the day from there you go to all those schools. But really, there is a lot to be improved. So as one say, the teacher, the principal for that matter, as I say, we are always there to maintain integrity. The principle, that's not the bottom line. Any other one person will go that way now. Well, I don't know, sometimes not the other one. So as I say, still,
Mr. Commissioner, so you go give me the two definitions of like
on the subsidies, eh?
Subsidy.
Thank you very much. So just to be clear, now subsidies are not paid for the third term. And somebody may ask a question, Mr. Kabo, on this code of conduct for teachers and other educational personnel. Luckily, Alfonso been get a copy of an I open and just now. Principle 5, he gets work ethics. He said teachers and other education personnel shall not engage in any unprofessional practices such as examination malpractice, favoritism, selling in classroom, bribery, corruption and
materials. Then don't they train a lot of teachers? Then don't construct ICT centers. Laboratory equipment to certain laboratories. So 15 key areas where we feel safe, we for commend government for waiting in that. The teaching and learning material supply in all regular, we need for look into that. The school feeding, it expanded, but even in the district areas, some areas are not covered. So we need for expand them more. The reassessment and promotion of teachers. Now another thing we say for CAM. As we speak, the middle approved 3,000, but it's still yet to be implemented. And the payment of school fees subsidies. One, the amount. You understand, Minister, back to the question where we brother posed for SLTU having ethics or supporting integrity. One for let you know, so that's one. And secondly, one for let people they know say we take part in all the policies and standards where Ministry of Education, the Teaching Service Commission, they do for control education, for exercise discipline. We take part in the all for tell you say with the support discipline and integrity. And also as a and one of the rights is the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. So if anti-corruption don't come, time we go home.
now that, and I'm glad we will end with you, Mr. Kago. We don't make plenty progress. You don't outline 15 areas with the country. Family understand something we talk about in salon they spend because we all now say, well, we increase this, pay more, pay more. Governments, now like you budgets now you owes. If I spend per school today, that means I'm not going to spend per healthcare tomorrow because the money no unlimited. Not so. You get budgets. You get 10,000. Government don't decide. President you don't decide say they go up on subsidies. Yes, not on time. We agree. But you say the money go come. Plenty they go up and paying teachers, new teachers. If we increase the rate, all while we increase, no go higher enough teacher for the reach Falaba, Bond, and all the areas. Under this government, we don't add 10,000 new teachers. 10,000. Think of that. Each don't call out Spider Jacks in them. We brother don't outline plenty area where we see progress where we all do more on. We don't listen to the keynote speakers them. They all don't make a commitment. The steps that they take for digitize. The minister, every day, every night you talk to this man, he focused with the entire leadership team. And I will give special credits to Madam Gogra, Deputy Minister there and Chief Education Officer there. Salon. I say, waiting and sabi we for. Now because we na be the country, we all man one come for land book. Then they know the work if we cheat, if we cut corner, if we all believe say we for bypass. Because when you cheat, it will show out eventually. We know don't do enough. Nobody know then at this panel week. Nine government code law. Now the single best social transformation policy we don't see in the history of Sierra Leone. We make a position. If we all put we foot down, but government not going to track all things like that, sister.